welcome to the Fittingly Knitting Podcast. My name is Amanda, and I am coming to you from North Carolina in my knitting room. Thanks for joining me. This is a podcast that will be mostly about my knitting projects I'm working on. And today I'm going to also share with you my Rhinebeck sweaters that I will be wearing and taking to Rhinebeck this year for the first time ever. I'm so excited to go to Rhinebeck. I have never been. I'll also be attending Indie Untangled, so we'll go ahead and jump right into this podcast. So today I am wearing my sweater that I will be wearing to Rhinebeck on Saturday. This pattern is called Like a Cloud by Joji Locatelli, and I knit it using Legacy Fiber Arts yarn in their, Steel Toes fingering weight yarn. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So this is in the colorway Foxtails, and I held it double with Knit Picks Aloft, and that's their mohair yarn. So this is held double with mohair. And I am in love with this sweater. I'm in love with the way it fits. I'm in love with the way it feels. Everything about this is perfect, and I'll go ahead and stand up here so you can see it. I did kind of like longer ribbing on the bottom here and on the sleeves. I did longer ribbing. And as you can see, it fits very nicely. I haven't blocked this, and I don't think I'm going to until I wash it. I think that it doesn't really need to be blocked right now because I think it looks perfect. I also could not speak more highly of this pattern. It was super easy to follow. I enjoyed every stitch of it. I did put it on hold for a while during the summer just because it was so hot, and I didn't really knit that much over the summer. But I will say that I loved working on it, and I just highly recommend the pattern. And I think that this will be a staple of my wardrobe. I tend to wear cardigans all the time, so I think I'm going to be wearing this a lot. And I could not speak more highly of the yarn either. I am impartial because I have been following Legacy Fiber Arts for some time now. I'm a patron of Chelsea Makes, and but I love their yarn. Those two are great. So yes, Sue and Chelsea, they are both wonderful, and I also highly recommend using their yarn. It's wonderful. All right, let's move on to some works in progress. So currently in my project bag, so here's my beautiful project bag, and this is a project bag by Jenna Rose. I love it dearly. I've been using it a lot lately, mostly for socks, because they fit perfectly. So here is my current sock whip, and it's in a very beautiful autumn colorway. This is a sock set, and the sock set is by Svenja Knits, and I hope I'm saying that right. She dyes in small batches, and this colorway is called Cider House, and it's got the little mini skein that came with it. I'm going to knit the mini skein on the toe as well. And here you go. So it's just a very beautiful colorway. It reminds me of the fall. The pattern I'm knitting is Vanilla Socks on 9-inch circular by K. Litton. That is the pattern I'm knitting. Sometimes I don't follow patterns for vanilla socks, but I really wanted to because I hadn't really knit a full pair on the 9-inch circular, which I really love the 9-inch circular. I just think that it really helps with my gauge. I made the mistake of knitting a pair of socks on my double points, one sock on the double point, and then I knit the second pair on my 9-inch, and the gauge like completely changed because I cast on the same number. I just didn't think about it. But I will say that it just makes a better fit sock. It pretty much perfectly fits my foot whenever I knit it on the 9-inch circular, because there's just not a lot of, you know, loose stitches from knitting it in the round on my double points. I am in love with the heel. For a while there, I was knitting the Fish Kiss Lips heel, and then I don't know, I guess I got tired of it because I knit it on so many socks, but I'm back to the heel flap. I just kind of prefer that more now. It works better for me. So yeah, I am loving the heel. I'm loving this yarn. It's like really, really soft. I don't know what the fiber content is because I throw away my labels. I probably shouldn't, so I can remember and I can tell you guys, but I highly recommend this yarn as well. It's so soft. I love it. And I'm just loving this pattern. It's making me have all the fall feels right now. Even though our weather hasn't completely changed here yet, I have been in the fall mood since like late September. All right, so those were my current sock whips. All right, next thing here. What would I like to show you guys next? The next thing I will show you guys is my Wild Posy tee that I'm working on. And this is a pattern by Melody Hoffman. And it is like stunning, stunning. I just love the details on this sweater. I'm pretty much just at the beginning, at the top of it right now. She's got some interesting stitch patterns on here if you look closely. I don't know what some of these are called, but I love that. I just love the details in her work. I love this yoke. I am knitting this out of a yarn I got on my birthday. My birthday's in August, so I bought this yarn, and it is called Cake. And it is by Fiber Story. It's their core worsted. And it is 100% superwash merino. And it looks like birthday cake. It looks like a birthday cake I would really like to eat. So I got this for my birthday. I am really excited about this this sweater. I put it down because I really, really wanted to finish this, because this just like screams fall, and I'm wearing it to Rhinebeck. So I put this one down after I cast it on, but I'm still super excited about this. And now that I'm showing you guys on the camera, I'm like, ooh, I'm very excited. So I will take this to Rhinebeck with me to work on. And if you see here, I've got this cute little cake stitch marker. It's so adorable. And it's carrot cake, which is my favorite. I actually got this around our wedding time because we got a carrot cake for our wedding. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Simply Serving was making the carrot cake stitch markers. So I got that, and I am holding it with my project. So that was the Wild Posy tee by Melody Hoffman. That is my second whip. Okay, next thing I will show you is I am working on a shawl, which I love dearly, but yet again, it's another thing that I put down when I like really was just trying to finish this sweater. And this is a pattern by Fiber Tales. So this is the Grow Shawl by Fiber Tales. If you can see some of the detail there, it's got like this really lovely leaf pattern here, and it's got another one, and it's got like a flower on it with the baubles. I'm loving it. I think it's beautiful. I love the yarn. I love like how it's kind of rustic looking and tweedy. And the yarn has like these little flecks of orange. Like I just thought that this also was like another just like screams fall pattern and the yarn. I ended up going to my yarn store, my local yarn store. It is in Durham. And I just like wanted some tweed. I was like looking around and I found this. This is the Fiber Co. and it's called Light Aranmore. So it's a DK. I believe the pattern, I don't know for sure, but I think it calls for worsted weight. but I'm still knitting it on US 8, so it's gonna have some space in there. But this is the yarn, the Fiberco Aran Moor, and it is just the most beautiful tweed yarn. And yeah, so basically the way this pattern works is you are decreasing, like instead of increasing, you cast on the number of stitches that it needs, I think, for its largest size, and then you are just decreasing every other round. And oh yeah, I did another technique on this I'd never done before. Let me find it. And it's just like the coolest thing ever. So this is just like a braid. So what you're doing is just, really, you should get the pattern, but if you really want to knit it, but what you're doing is you're like knitting in stockinette, and then like you go in and you take them out and make this like amazing braid, and I think it's so cool. And those are going to kind of like go up the different parts of the pattern where you kind of like section it off. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, and it was really scary for me because I like had to like drop, you know, all the way back my stitches, and I was like, oh no, this is scary, but it worked out and it's so pretty. I love this pattern. I can't wait until this is done because I don't have like a chunky shawl. Like I've made shawls before, but I don't wear lightweight shawls. I do tend to run colder. I love blankets, so I've always got a blanket on me on the couch or something. So it's like, I think that this will be perfect for colder days, and hopefully we'll get some snow. But just look at that like leaf and flower, like I just think it's so cool. And all this work like this is on the bottom of the shawl, and then you're kind of just, you know, knitting it like plain for the rest, so it's like you can see that detail, and then you just see like the garter, and it is just so stunning. And this is definitely, I can't wait until this one's done. All right, so that was my third WIP. Oh, and I just wanted to show too, I forgot. I've got these stitch markers on here, and these are by Louise Knits. She makes really, really lovely stuff. I've got like a hair clip by her that's a rainbow. But yeah, these pretty stitch markers here. And I needed a lot of stitch markers for this one, but these on the end are just some really pretty stitch markers by Louise Knits. And I just love that color palette and how they all go together. So that was my third work in progress. And I'm going to take all of those to Rhinebeck. We are leaving next Thursday, and I'm just so excited. I've never been, when we decided to go, because we kind of decided on a whim, and when we decided to go and got the Airbnb and like everything, I like could not sleep the night of because I was just so excited. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Rhinebeck, like freaking out because, you know, so I've been knitting, you know, for a long time now. I'm 30, so I just turned 30 this year, and I've been knitting since I was 18. Like I would say very consistently, like obsessed with it. So the fact that I am going to Rhinebeck, like I've always seen pictures and vlogs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks so magical. So I cannot wait to go. I am just so, so excited. And we got like the cutest little camper, a little ways out. It's like, I think like 15 minutes away. But it's just like the way they have it set up, the camper set up is like a tiny house, and it's on a farm, and they have sheep on their farm. Like it's an organic farm. And I just cannot wait to go. I am so, so excited. So I'm going to take those 3 projects. I will take, if I finish the socks, I'll probably bring some sock yarn. Cause like I said, we're leaving Thursday, and we're going to be, you know, in New York until Sunday. So we're going to leave on Sunday back to North Carolina. It's about a 9-hour drive. Me and my husband will split it up. He's a trooper. He fully supports how much I love knitting, and he is going to spend the day with me at Rhinebeck. And I was like, because I've made him some hand knits, I'm like, are you going to wear your hand knits? Like, I was like, you kind of have to wear hand knits if you're going to Rhinebeck. Like, there's not really a choice. So he might wear, I've made him like, you know, a sweater or hat, so he might wear one of his hand knits. So yeah, so speaking of my trip to the my local yarn store, which we have some really good ones around here. This one I'm talking about is called Freeman's Creative. I will show you what I got also when I was there because it's like so stunning. Oh my goodness. So I saw a pattern that was knit and I was like touching it. Was a hat pattern. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what is this yarn? So I got this yarn. So I just like think it is so gorgeous. This is Little Fox yarn and it's DK weight merino silk and yak. I've never knit with any yak in my yarn before, so I am really excited and I just like love the colorway. It's not even completely showing up. It's almost got this like very light brown undertone that is not really showing up. I just have never seen a color like this before. It's Little Fox yarn. I cannot wait to use it, and I'm just gonna knit the pattern that I saw it knit with at the store, and this is Fleur. It's a hat pattern. Who is it by? Fleur. I'm not sure who it's by, but I'm pretty sure if you go on Ravelry and type Fleur, like for a hat, you will be able to find this pattern. So there it is right there. It's just a lovely hat. And it looks so good on this yarn. And then, okay, so I want to share the sweaters I will be taking to Rhinebeck this year. So you already saw this one. So this is going to be the sweater I wear the day of Rhinebeck. I was kind of like thinking, I was like, what days will I wear what sweaters? Because I'm going to Indie Untangled as well. So let me just show you the sweaters I'm taking on this trip. So we leave Thursday. I'm not sure which one I'm going to wear Thursday when we leave. But my idea for Indie Untangled is that I wear my sweater. So this is my sweater knit out of Explorer Knits yarn. And this yarn is the Joshua Tree. Oh my gosh. I love this sweater. I've already worn it like so much, even though I knit it like, I think I finished it during the spring. Yeah, so just recently. And yeah, I've already worn it a ton, but it's just beautiful. It fits perfectly. And I love it. So this is the pattern is called the Tresco by, let me tell you who it's by. You can look on my Ravelry page because now I can't think who it's by. But it's on my Ravelry page. No, actually it's not on my Ravelry. It is on my Instagram. So my Instagram is Fittingly Knitting. And you can see, I just can't think right now who it's by. But this is just a lovely jumper, and I think I will wear this to Indie Untangled. What do you guys think? Let me know. You can comment and tell me. After I show you guys the sweaters, you can say, oh, you should actually wear that one. But I think this is the one I will wear. But I love it. This is the DK weight yarn, Joshua Tree, and oh yeah, it's got cashmere in it as well. So it is just a very lovely, lovely sweater. All right, so that's one I'm gonna take, and I think that's the Indie Untangled sweater. Here is another sweater I'm gonna take on this trip. This is my Weekender, and this one's by Andrea Mallory. The yarn, I did use Brooklyn Tweed in newsprint, so I will take this sweater along. Just another, you know, I really have some really nice sweaters that I have made over the years, and it is, I'm starting to see the benefit of it. It's just like so nice to take out your hand knit sweaters like when it starts to get cooler out and just have some really nice pieces. And my goal is to totally have like a handmade wardrobe. I sew a bit as well, which I'm going to talk about that. A pattern that I am actually working on. I started yesterday. Sewing for me is I need to learn how to slow down when I do it, because sewing can stress me out because I try to do it really fast. So yesterday what I did, like, I started going slow and I just cut out the pattern pieces for my size, and that's all I did. That was the first step, and I was like, okay, you can walk away and knit, take a break. You don't have to finish it in one day. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'll be working on. But my dream is to have a handmade wardrobe. That is my #1 goal for what I am doing. So here is a weekender. Don't know what day I'm gonna wear it, but I'm taking it along with, just in case. But yeah, Brooklyn Tweed newsprint. And I pretty much just, I followed the pattern to the T, except I didn't do the split hem on the bottom here. I don't know, I just didn't want to fuss with that when I was making it, and I love it. It fits beautifully, and yeah. All right, another sweater I will bring. So I got the bug for the knit collage knit-alongs this time round. I'd never knit one before, but I got the bug, and I made the Kaleidoscope embroidered sweater. So I'm taking this one. This was actually my other choice for Indie Untangled. But let me know what you think. If you think I should wear this one, or should I wear my Explorer Knits sweater? So here is my Kaleidoscope. And I really, like, I so enjoyed doing the embroidery. And I need to do more embroidery because it was so much fun. But I loved how I kept it really simple. Like, because I was like, well, I'll go ahead and, you know, add other stuff, but I think that this sweater is so, it already screams kind of like, look at me, because of the color of it. And I didn't want to make it like, you know, that like, look at me, even though like I like things like that, but I think that this is already a statement piece, like, in a piece of artwork. It's even got sparkles in it. Like, it is definitely a statement piece. But oh my gosh, the embroidery, which made me think, the first time I saw a sweater knit out of like yarn like this, it wasn't the Weekender. It was a sweater that was like in the same like marled color, but it had the most beautiful embroidered flowers on it, and I would love to go back in and like do something like right here, like just like some embroidered like color pops, like of reds and yellows on this sweater. So I just have so many ideas what I want to do. You guys know how it is. We're all crafters here. But that I would love to do. So anyway, I love the embroidery. Like, I was intimidated by it, and the videos for the make along, just, it makes it so much like easier and understandable. I loved that knit along, and it was just, it came at the perfect time. You know, during like when things were pretty bad, like with lockdowns and stuff, like I needed that. So yeah, that's one of my choices for Indie Untangled, but I think I'm gonna wear my Explorer Knits sweater. But like I said, let me know what you guys think I should do. All right, and then here is, so like I said, I got a bug for this knit collage stuff. So this was not part of the knit along, but I had been eyeing some of the patterns for a while, especially this was one. This is the Pixelated Cardi. And so I just, right after I finished that, which I finished fairly quickly, I was just like, I need more of this in my life. So I knit the, this pattern, the Pixelated Cardi. And I just picked, you know, I picked my colors, I picked the kit, and all that. And this screams me. Like, this sweater right here, like, is so me. The colors, everything about it. And, yeah, I also was like thinking that one, the other one, the one I showed you with the embroidery, it's, you know, springy colors. It's not super fall, but this one I was like, okay, I'll finish this one and it'll be the perfect time of the year to wear it. So I am taking this as well. And yeah, I love this. I love this sweater. I love the sparkles. One sweater that I really want to make, and maybe you guys can tell me, and I have yet to figure this out, is the plaid cardigan by Knit Collage. But for some reason, you cannot purchase the pattern. Does anybody know why? Because I want to knit that pattern. And that was the one that I was like trying to knit. I know I could have looked into it more, like maybe I should have emailed them over at Knit Collage and like gotten an answer. But if you guys know, let me know, because I don't really know why, but I want to knit that pattern. That will be, whenever I do Knit Collage again, I will wait for that plaid sweater because I want that so bad. So those are my Rhinebeck sweaters that I will take with me. Let me know if you think, is this a good idea? I think that this is a wonderful idea to wear this one to actual Rhinebeck on Saturday. We're going to spend the whole day at Rhinebeck on Saturday, so 9 to 5. So we will not go on Sunday. Sunday we'll just be headed home. But I still want a sweater because this whole weekend is going to be all about knitting. Okay, what else? Oh, I wanted to show some of my October-y socks because it's October and it's spooky season. So my socks that I've been wearing recently, love them. These are just, plain vanilla socks, but it is knit out of London House yarns in the colorway Witchy. So I knit these last year and I didn't wear them. Like I did not wear them because I finished them after, I think it was like I finished them in November. Like I started them in October, finished in November. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save myself a pair of socks and have them for October season next. So I've just been wearing these around the house and stuff. Love this yarn. I mean, look at that. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Just have to stare at it for a second. So I have these. I'll most likely take these to Rhinebeck with possibly, some other hand knit socks as well. I'm just hoping that the weather will be nice and cool. I have some other things I want to show you guys. It's not quite over yet. So I also went to another yarn store in my area, and this one is in Cary, North Carolina, and I wasn't really going to get any yarn, and I was taking my friend with me because she is a new knitter, and she just needed some yarn because she's going to make a hat for her friend. But I had to get some yarn because, look at this. So this is local yarn. It is undyed, like that is the color of the yarn. It's undyed, it's DK weight, it's Hyacinth's Barnyard, and it's local around here. It's mohair 80%, llama 20%. And can you imagine a sweater in this? And it was more affordable than some other yarns. And I just had to get it because I'm going to make myself a pair of DK weight socks. And who really inspired me, I watch Fiber Tales podcast. She always gets the most lovely undyed yarns. She's all she buys a lot of natural stuff. And I was like, I saw this and I had been inspired by her because I watched her podcast. So I got this yarn and I am going to make some socks. I don't know what socks I want to make. I don't have any socks that are plain. I don't have any, my socks are also colorful. So I don't have any that are just neutral and just so I'm not going to knit a plain vanilla sock. I want something, and I've been looking at patterns on Ravelry and I've found some, but I want some with some detail and whatnot. And I know Fiber Tales just came out with, she came out with Grow socks, which I think would be lovely in this, but it's fingering weight. So I don't know, I'd have to kind of change some things. But if you guys have any patterns in mind for this, if you just know exactly what I'm talking about, the kind of thing I want, it's I want detail on the sock, but not too much. I want subtle, even if it's just on the leg and not on the foot. If you know of any patterns, let me know, because I'm hoping that if I can finish my other socks before Rhinebeck, I'll maybe cast these on in the car. So that is that. All right, another thing. So, last thing I want to talk about is just like future knits and my sewing pattern I'm working on today. So I really want to knit a junction pullover or junction sweater by Andrea Mowry. Oh my gosh, it is so stunning. So I might be on the lookout for some yarn for that at Rhinebeck. So if you guys know of any like booths that you think I should go to, I know what colors I want. I want it to be, you know, pretty neutral, almost like, you know, I could go for something like tan, and then, you know, some color pops. I know they use Spin Cycle for that pattern, but I'd be willing to try something else. I love I've never knit with Spin Cycle. I would love to. So I might be on the lookout for some yarn at Rhinebeck for that junction sweater. So that's like my future knit. I also have some yarn coming in because during this time of the year, like, it is so hard not to buy yarn because everyone is just coming out with the most stunning colorways. I have some yarn coming from Woolberry Fiber Co. She had this pumpkin, pumpkin something. Was it a latte? I don't know. Pumpkin something sock set. So that's coming. I have some yarn coming from Coco Knits pre-order. No, it's not Coco Knits. It's I think it's Treehouse Knits, and she had like the movie Coco colorway pre-order, and I ordered the Remember Me sock set. So that's coming. And then I also have some yarn coming from Surella Yarn. She did like a, you know, spooky pre-order thing too, and I think she's shipping those next week. So they're all, I'm not saying it's like a crazy amount where I've got a bunch coming. It's just like individual skeins, like, because this time of the year, like, the yarn is just so lovely and it's so hard not to buy. Okay, lastly, let me show you guys what I'm doing today after this podcast. I'm not knitting. What am I saying? I'm just so used to saying knitting. I do sew. I've made a skirt, I've made a shirt, I've made different things. Just not fully into it yet. I would love to because I want a handmade wardrobe and I want to enjoy the process more like I do knitting, which I do once I get into it, but sewing is just a whole different animal that I need to learn more of. So I will be sewing the Hinterland Dress, and this is So Liberated, a pattern by So Liberated. And it's called the Hinterland Dress. Look at that. Look at that. It is stunning, stunning. And okay, I want to finish this before Rhinebeck because I want to wear this to Rhinebeck. I want a whole handmade wardrobe besides like shoes. Because I think also the color of the fabric will go perfectly with this. So here it is, the pattern. I'm gonna knit, you know, long sleeve. I'm knitting this kind, and I'm also doing like just the buttons on top of the bodice. Like they have an option for all the way down, but I'm just doing the buttons on the top. So first of all, let me show you the fabric. I have it here. So here is my fabric. Just look at that. It is stunning. I just love it. It's so subtle. It's just like the lightest purple. I think it's a linen. I think it's linen. It's stunning. And I feel motivated to work on it. I just need to do it. And I know when it's done, I'm gonna like because that's anytime I sew something or make anything, but sewing, because it's so new to me and it's like I'm not that good at it. Anytime I sew something, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get like this huge adrenaline rush. But that is my plan today, and I'm just gonna keep on working on it. Like I don't care how long it takes right now. Just need to take my time on it. I still have 1 full week until we leave, so I think it's possible. I just need to work on it. And then I got the most beautiful buttons. That's gonna go on the bodice. It's not just on the top. So that is a huge goal. I think it would go perfectly with this sweater, like that light purple and this. What do you guys think? I think it will. So that is all I have for you today. I really enjoyed doing this podcast, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I would love to continue to podcast in the future. But we'll see. Like, I'm usually very busy with work. But I would love to continue to podcast. I love my knitting. I love crafting. I love the community. And I love being inspired. So I hope that how other podcasts inspire me, I hope that this one could inspire you. And that is just what I would like to do, is inspire people. And I love being inspired. And I just hope to maybe connect with some people this way. So I hope whatever you are doing, you have a lovely rest of your day. It's been quite rainy here, but it's been really nice. It's been really nice and cozy, and I'm currently on a break from work, so I've just been trying to craft as much as possible and fill my cup here. And I'm hoping that, I just think this podcast went well today, so maybe you'll see more of me in the future. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy knitting. Bye!